Well, I think the first thing we've got to do is really just take stock. We've had a decision that's been made. I think the best thing to do is be very clear about what we're doing in terms of moving forward. So let's just take stock, take a little bit of time to reflect. At the end of the day, the domestic housing market is still what it was last week. There's still a huge demand for housing. The domestic buyer really is primary focus around what we're building and what we're renting out. There may well be one or two bumpy issues ahead. I read already about cash calls potentially because of swap rate variations. That may well impact housing associations towards the end of this month and next. But at the end of the day, I say the demand is still there. Maybe one other opportunity could come out of this, that land prices may well fall. A fall in land prices, a real opportunity I think there then for the RPs to move into a space where potentially the house builders might just be a bit reluctant to do over the course of the next few months. Well, there's a lot being said about labour and skilled labour in particular. I think you've got to look at the actual facts of this one. The construction industry and EU workers represents 12%. So the EU worker represents 12% of the UK construction marketplace. That's not a huge number, significant but not huge. I believe Brexit is probably 2.5 years away, and therefore in that sense we have time to plan for this. And at the end of the day, who's to say that the UK government won't say, do you know what, free movement of key workers is still allowable. Well, you're quite right. House building, travel and banks have taken the biggest hit probably of all. But the whole market really is around confidence. I believe that the early appointment of a new Prime Minister will go a long way to restoring that confidence, because at the end of the day, house building is about the domestic customer. Domestic customers will return once they have the confidence in job prospects, in income, trade, everything else. So I think it's short-term volatility, but longer term, that demand is still there. The business case is very much still there for housing.